Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Assassin's Creed. Here. We are working our way through the little objectives as we're trying to get them. Let's see, we'll run this way. Knows the swing there. We haven't really mentioned the swing because there really isn't a ton of stuff that you can do with it. They have a tendency to be placed in places where they want to make sure you only go forward. Sometimes they're put right at a 45-degree angle on the corners of buildings. Maybe not in the first game, maybe that's only in the second game. Alright, now I have to get down. Objective succeeded.
It's good you've come, brother. I could use that blade of yours. Too many archers about. This makes it difficult for me to work. Kill them. All of them. And I might be able to assist you in your campaign against the Mad Doctor. Keep in mind, however, that you must do this without being seen. Should you be discovered, they'll sound the alarm and you'll be forced to try again.
So, we're gonna have to stealth assassinate all the archers. And how many is that? Oh, it's just a couple.
Such is his nature, and beg forgiveness we must, for only
Knows that the eagle vision doesn't really work in far distances either.
from their wicked way. Citizens are routed at every turn.
So
We
there's,
cast them out of
it seems
Acre
like one
and
right
pushed them
here.
From the countryside. Now they retreat to the south, begging Saladin to save them. But he will not succeed, for none can withstand the might of King Rydo's army. He is graced by God. It is only a matter
Notice
of
his
time,
body
friend,
falls backwards.
before all the land is ours
So
once
we can
more,
see an archer
just
over there. Is
as
that the
it
guy we're
was.
supposed to get?
It was meant to be.
Yep, seems like it.
Be not afraid. Fear and doubt are the weapons of our enemies. Do not listen
Here we
to
hear
their
somebody
lies.
down on the street
Poisonous words meant to sow the seeds of
preaching.
hatred. If you find yourself tempted, go and pray. Ask God.
Two archers.
Stop! You must not trespass here.
Stay strong, citizens.
So I failed.
God watches over you. It is his hand that guides our warriors to victory. First in Acre, through in Java.
And reinitializing allows the music to play,
We cast them out of Acre and pushed them from the country.
which will play nicely until I start this mission again.
Richard and his men cannot
We had a deal, brother. Honor your end of it, and I will honor mine.
If it was a deal, I didn't really negotiate very well.
Ours once more, just as it was meant to be. We've turned away from God.
The body from the
And
last
so
guy is
he
still
punishes us, sends
right
hordes
there.
of heathen warriors at our gates.
Now I guess what I want to do
Also merciful,
is
and
not
our past
be standing
misdeeds
here
may
when
be
that guy
forgotten.
looks this
All
way.
we do is ask. And so I say to you,
Notice how
repent,
this little ledge here
lay down before
just
him
wants
and
me to go the
confess your sins.
opposite
He will forgive, such is
direction.
his nature.
Alright,
And
so
beg forgiveness we
once
must,
this guy
for
turns,
only
I'm
when
gonna
our
try
hearts
and
minds are
walk around.
cleansed Can victory be assured?
There we go.
A plague upon Saladin, a plague upon his people. He came in peace to the Holy
And I
Land
want to
spread
just
the message of our Lord, but they turned away.
now
They
keep an eye on him.
refused to accept him as their savior.
Is he
These
gonna
men
walk to
hold
the right?
evil in their hearts.
Or is he gonna turn around and face
So
me?
King and Savior
Turns around and
now
faces
stand
me.
against them, defending
Is he
us
going
from
to
their
walk
wicked
towards
ways.
me? Makes you really wish that you could just kind of reach around the corner and stab a person, but I've already tried that once and it didn't
Your
work.
beliefs, though the road is long and your trials many, know
Here, I
that
think
God
this will work.
watches over you. That guides our warriors to victory. First in Acre, soon in Jaffa. Be not afraid. Fear and doubt are the weapons
Only
of our
one
enemy.
body
Do
right there.
not
Or is
listen
it
to
2
their
bodies?
lies.
It
Poisonous
is 2
words
bodies
meant
right
to
on
sow
top
the
of each
seeds
other.
of confusion.
Pre-programmed to
If you
fall right in
find
the exact
yourself
same position,
tempted,
exact same
go
place,
and pray.
with
Ask
only
God
a
for
slight
direction.
variation.
If your heart is pure, He will surely answer.
That's a glitch. Sorta, it's just bad programming. They should have, once they reset the game, eliminated those bodies in particular.
Well done, Altair. With those archers dead, I can be about my business. Take this. It's some sort of work order for repairs to Garnier's hospital. Perhaps it'll be of use to you.
So we get another thing done. On the map, we're actually pretty close to being done. We just need to get this sync spot, this citizen in peril, this citizen in peril, this sync spot, and this sync spot. And then we can be done with half of the memory.
Ours once more,
It's
just as it was meant to be.
seems like they only really wanted to introduce the concept of the guards and nothing else on top of that, because they could have done other things to make it more difficult that they simply opted not to do. The guards could be firing arrows at me constantly, for example. Alright. I found one trying to drop down and the game is not letting me. Apparently there's not enough area for me to stand. Like, well, according, there is enough area for me to stand, but the game doesn't think so. You can tell this engine was brand new when they came out with it. Yeah, let's go ahead and synchronize here. He looks cooler standing than he does hunched over. Two more sync spots. I guess I want to get this one since that would make a little bit more sense. Get right here, leap of faith.
We've turned away from God, and so He punishes us.
One would think that that was an informant, and it may be an informant for a later battle. I haven't said it, but if you were thinking things through, you probably would have figured out that there will be an assassination for the entire cities later on. So we will unlock the rich, the poor, and the medium districts, and there will be one assassination that requires doing side quests throughout all of the city. Which is kind of weird because then you end up in a you end up covering the area again.
You dirty thief! I'll have your
Where
hands
is
for that.
the citizen? Here they are.
Thief! This'll teach you not to steal.
Won't anyone help me?
Death! Jesus! This is where you die! You're done for! You give up!
fast enough here. These guards are using a throw and grab techniques. Wow. And knows that he didn't die there.
Not say what they wanted from me, but I saw the darkness in their eyes. Sorry, I have nothing to offer in return for your sacrifice.
Where is the heathen
But I shall see to it that my brothers know you are a friend.
And everyone has exactly 4 brothers, apparently, in this universe.
Show yourself.
So far, actually getting the vigilantes and such haven't helped.
Who saw what happened here?
I think they will help a lot more later on, maybe. That was a far jump to take. But you're pretty safe throughout all of this game to take a jump.
Stop. You must not trespass here.
Let's see, this ladder.
Dare steal in my presence. That will cost you your life.
What have I done wrong? Tell me, please.
Die, thief.
Where's the citizen in trouble
Dare
again?
steal in my presence. That will
You can
cost
hear
your
him,
life.
but that doesn't help.
Stop it, please.
Die, thief. What is it now? You dare steal in my presence. That will cost you your life.
Praise God, you saved me. All the city will know of your sacrifice.
There's another citizen saved. So, this is the next one. In these smaller areas, it makes sense.
Hello,
Yeah, the game plays a little bit better in the smaller areas when you don't have to run across an entire city, only a third of a city to get from one point to the other. But it becomes too big, slightly too big. Just ever so slightly too big.
That will cost you your life.
Please, don't leave that.
You dare steal in my presence. That will cost you your life.
Won't anyone help me?
Die, thief.
Please, sir, have any money? Please, sir, have any money?
Be gone, beggar.
Stop it, please.
What the hell do you do?
I'll have your hands.
Third time's a charm on
I'll
that.
have your head.
Oops. So remember, you will lose life if you attack civilians. It's close to impossible to actually kill a civilian, though. You have to really try for it.
You take now. Hey, Gilly, what's that?
Let's hide back here. We need to... I guess we could make a mad dash this way. Seems like you can't even jump out of those while you're resynchronizing. Slightly more difficult to go downward.
Come no, I can hear you breathing.
Here we go. Back in. Must be that building right there. Lots and lots of flags we haven't gotten. Let's see, I assume that's the building.
He'll hunt someone at that. Leave, peasant.
There's an assassination. I wish I had pulled off more of those up to this point. The running dash into the neck. And every single time, practically, when you synchronize, you see a visual glitch with the cloth and the robe of your outfit. They should have really done something different with his outfit. It's supposed to be very eagle-like, and I can see some of that and understand some of that, but... Ah, here's an informer assassination challenge. But their engine simply just can't handle it.
Altair! He's after me! He saw me! He will kill me, and my wife and children! What a mess! Have you come to end my misery? No. Al-Mualim has more compassion than I thought. Could you help me then? A knight of the Hospitalier is after me. If you could eliminate him, you would do a fellow a real honor. I've been here in Akkar since the Crusaders were laying siege. I can give you important information in return.
Fine. Fine by me, I'll kill yet one more guard. First things first, let's get this. Just a small thing of getting up that one ledge was something that games could not accomplish before this engine was made. Even a small transition simply just had never been programmed for. And in a lot of ways, I'm not sure the computers and the consoles were strong enough. Alright, which way? Let's go save this guy first.
I beg of you, sir.
It's
I
closer.
beg of you, just a few coins, please.
Leave me alone.
Please, someone do something. Why are you so cruel? What have I done wrong?
You dare steal in my presence. That will cost you your life. You dare steal in my presence. That will cost you your life.
Why are you so cruel? What have I done wrong?
You've no reason to stand
Please,
up.
someone do
Leave.
something.
Get the guy in the helmet first, because he'll be much more difficult.
You can't get away from me.
Slice that guy up. You can turn off, I think, the blood and maybe the fatalities in this first game. I don't know what you would want to. Either you're mature enough to play a game about an assassin or you aren't.
Still, he's all right by me.
If you're a little kid, you shouldn't be playing this game, obviously. All citizens safe.
Le Seigneur me donner la force de dire j'ai besoin. Je vais finir, les gars.
Yeah, let's run in here. I think I'm going to have to restart this. assassin mission. I don't think you can have 2 missions going at the same time. Yep. It's almost fast enough. Now we go and start it again. And now we go take out the target.
I need food. I'm so hungry. Just a little money, I beg of you.
There's a lot of variety here. Well, not at least. We have yet to repeat too much of anything. So this guy's a Templar.
Deadliest item.
Put up a real fight. I'm slicing into him and he's still not dead. 2 of 60 Templars eliminated. So that was an actual Templar. They have a tendency just to be standing in very specific spots, which makes sense. You wouldn't want them wandering around if you're trying to get all of them. And I think they only have that one outfit. Oops. Apparently that wasn't the target. Or if that was the target, I was supposed to stealth assassinate him, not set off alarms.
Sir, I beg of you, just a few coins, please.
Why does she run straight to me? It is a stealth assassinate mission and it wasn't that Templar. So they put the Templar there on purpose to make it a more difficult challenge. Where's the target? "15 feet in
I beg of you,
that
sir,
direction?"
I beg of you, just a few
What happened here?
coins, please. A few coins, all I ask.
Just trying to blend like crazy. Still, even trying to blend it, they're very suspicious of me. Where's the target? I'm not seeing it. Is he moving around? Or am I... 21 meters, 15 meters, 15 feet.
But I need money, sir. I'm poor
Hey.
and sick and
You
hungry.
look familiar.
Please, sir, have any money?
Alright,
The family's sick
So-
and dying. Could you spare a few coins?
there we go.
Who could have done such a thing? How? There's a
Blend away.
Who did this? These are dark days indeed. Who could have done such a thing?
So the target was walking in circles. He just had a specific point where he was starting each time. Notice the red light is blinking.
It's done. He's dead. Oh, I am extremely grateful. So, here is what I know about Garnier de Naplouse, Grand Master of the Hospitalier. Garnier let his patients roam the halls of his fortress. No one, save scholars, may enter his personal workspace, and the rooftops are guarded by archers. I'm sure this information will help deliver Garnier to the gates of hell.
So scholars and guards can both enter the area. Let's see, we have one more viewpoint to do. And then I think those scholars probably would put us right where we need to go in the assassination mission later on.
Please, sir, have any money?
If there's only 60 Templars, I would bet at least 20 of them are in the kingdom. And then there might be 20 split between the other 3. Let's see, well 3 would be 20, 40, 60 in itself.
Please, sir, have any money?
Because we have Damascus and we have Jerusalem and Acre, all probably have a decent number of...
You have no business here. Leave.
They have a decent number, I would bet, of
Oh my.
Templars. Well, it wouldn't really surprise me if there was just 10 in each city, though, and then 30 in the kingdom area. That would be a different way to blend it together. Yeah.
Did you see that? He should stop acting like a child.
Why are the dead people just like right here? When was the last time we were here? A long, long time ago. So these dead bodies are part of the design. They never go away.
I need food. I'm so hungry. Just a little money, I beg you.
Leave me alone. The beggars come too often. They feel like they should be at most like very rarely used in pre-programmed areas. All these destroyed buildings. I want to get to that.
Please, sir, have any money? My family's sick and dying. Could you spare a few coins?
You're not supposed to be here.
You've no reason to be here. Leave now.
Let's just find a nice angle where they can't see me. Because that's how guards really work in the real world. As soon as you leave their sight, they assume you've gone and don't go looking for you. And
This place is restricted.
if they had done the story where you were playing as a younger version of yourself and looked like a teenager child, climbing on the buildings would probably not be as suspicious. You'd probably be slightly suspicious, but they'd probably just assume this is a thing that kids would do all the time, because even in today's day and age, you have parkour and similar activities that where kids go on parts of buildings that adults are not supposed to be at and do extreme challenges. This game came out slightly around the time as Mirror's Edge, which is a parkour game, and has in a lot of ways the similar elements.
What is that man doing?
Although to very different ends. In Mirror's Edge, the fighting mechanic is the worst part, and it's first-person view instead of over-the-shoulder third-person view, although I would hesitate to even call this over-the-shoulder. It's more of a free camera third-person view.
Oh my.
But one thing Mirror's Edge does show And since they're making a sequel to it, although I think it's actually a prequel called Mirror's Edge Catalyst, that's about to be out. It should be close to being out right now. What that game shows is how, in the middle of running around, you can really mess up and hopefully in the sequel improve upon the fighting mechanics and do it in a modern era where guns exist. I don't think I can fully resynchronize there for some reason. And here's the assassin's place. Again, it feels like this building feels exactly like the other building in Damascus. Maybe they're standard for a reason, maybe they were just cheap and reused the same models. So, for the first time we're gonna go in here. Let's just, before we do that, look at all those items we can interact with, but that's not what I wanted to see. I wanted to make sure we are at the right point. Yes, knowledge, and then assassination, and then we just move over to Jerusalem.
Ah, Altair. A little bird told me you'd be paying a visit.
Al-Muallim has ordered the execution of Garnier de Naplouse.
The Grand Master of the Knights Hospitalier?
Indeed. And I have already determined when and how to strike.
Share your knowledge with me then.
He lives and works within the Order's hospital, northwest of here. Rumors speak of atrocities committed within its walls. It seems the good doctor enjoys experimenting on innocent citizens. Most of them kidnapped and brought here from Jerusalem.
Clever. By stealing his subjects from another city, he avoids arousing too much suspicion here. But back to the matter at hand. What is your plan?
Garnier keeps mainly to his quarters inside the hospital, though he leaves occasionally to inspect his patients. It's when he makes his rounds that I will strike.
It's clear you've given this some thought. I give you leave to go. Remove this stain from Akka, Altair. Perhaps it will help cleanse your own. Rest here until you're ready to begin your mission.
Fast-forwarding memory to a more recent one.
So notice that they say some thought because they didn't re-record a second voice thing. If I was making this game today, I would pretty much demand that they have him respond differently if you hadn't done any research, or if you'd done a lot of research, or if you'd done all the research. So I believe these scholars can just get me in. And there is a weirdness about how the game isn't really pointing you, even though we've collected all that information. If we don't remember it outside of the game, there's no multiple entrances opening up for areas. No area is marked off as a highly guarded section, even though such sections do exist. So it's a slight spoiler also to say the guy that we're going to take out in Jerusalem is the person kidnapping the doctor's victims. So we could theoretically go and take on the research for him.
Stop.
Or kill him. Let's go ahead and calm down.
Is there a reason for him to do that?
Break a thing.
Make room!
So
Leave, peasant, before I make you.
let's take a moment to sit here and look at the map. We are right here. The assassination target is over there. So further than we have been before.
Come, have a look. You won't be disappointed.
He must not be of sound mind.
Yep, looks like these colors are gonna walk us right into the area. They're just standing there all day waiting. And into a basically loony bin slash hospital.
No, help! Help me! Help me! Please! You must help me!
Are we supposed to do something? Nope, we're supposed to watch.
Enough, my child. I asked you to retrieve the patient, not to kill him. There. Everything will be all right.
No!
Give me
No!
your hand.
Don't touch me! Not again!
Cast out this fear, else I cannot help you.
Help me? Like you helped the others? You took their souls! I saw! But not mine! No! You'll not have mine!
Take hold of yourself. Do you think this gives me pleasure? Do you think I want to hurt you? But you leave me no choice.
Every kind word matched by the back of his hand! All lies and deception! He won't be content until all bow before him!
You should not have done that. Return him to his quarters. I'll be along once I've tended to the
You
others.
can't keep me here! I'll escape again!
No, you won't. Break his legs, both of them.
What?
I'm so sorry. Have you people nothing better to do?
A lot of gray-haired ladies in that cutscene too. So, these guys brought us this far, and I think I can blend to roam some more.
And how does it feel to be whole again?
As you can see, there's a lot of guards around here. It's gonna be a pretty difficult task to get close enough to him and assassinate him. On top of all the guards, there's a lot of civilians, which if you kill even one civilian, that might be one too many. Oh, and yes, the crazy people do have a tendency to push you. Let's start to gain some height.
How did you do it? I have my ways. The worst is over now. You're tired. Then rest, my child.
Is that the guy? No, I don't believe that is. So he's sneaking around. I think you can hop here, hop here.
I heard it. Don't understand. Why did you help me? Because no one else would.
Oh, that's not gonna work, so here we go. Out comes the sword, and we'll just do it the bloody way. Now, if I manage to kill my target, time freezes for the cutscene, but then you're kind of right back to where you were before. Taking a lot of damage. Notice the game refused to let me assassinate him. They barely got it done.
I'll rest now, yes. The endless dream calls to me. But before I close my eyes, I must know what will become of my children.
You mean the people made to suffer your cruel experiments? They'll be free now to return to their homes.
Homes? What homes? The sewers? The brothels? The prisons that we dragged them from?
You took these people against their will.
Yes. What little will there was for them to have. Are you really so naive? Do you appease a crying child simply because he wails? But I want to play with fire, Father. What would you say? As you wish. But then you'd answer for his burn.
These are not children, but men and women full grown.
In body, perhaps, but not in mind. Which is the very damage I sought to repair. I admit, without the piece of Eden, which you stole from us, my progress was slowed. But there are herbs, mixtures, and extracts. My guards are proof of this. They were madmen before I found and freed them from the prisons of their own minds. And with my death, madmen they will be again.
You truly believe you were helping them?
It's not what I believe. It's what I know.
So he mentions the mysterious piece of Eden. And now we gotta run.
He just killed that person! Guard! Come quickly!
Let's try our best to get out of here. I think if I go up this ladder...
You can't get away from me!
Nope. Ladder's no good. Run out the door.
Where you die!
Those scholars run away, they're no good. Go, go, go. Come on, just let me in here. No, didn't make it. Keep running, keep running. Now maybe if I climb up here I'll find out. Find one good. Just get in here. There we go. Suppose I could have used the radar to figure out that point. So, yes, they mentioned the mysterious piece of Eden. It is the MacGuffin, the item that we are looking for throughout this whole game. And he seems like he thought he was helping them, although very difficult to agree with his methods at the very least. Well. So now we've done everything, we just need to make it back to our bureau. I don't think I'm going to be able to take off the alarm that's going off all over the city.
You have no business. You can't get away from me! Move! Move! Move!
And we're getting stuck on the geometry of the world again.
You shouldn't got involved.
Wait just a few seconds to see if that will
Oh,
stabilize.
another one for you return.
It stabilizes a little bit, but not by much. We still have the bells ringing. The whole game tries to make this argument that there's not a clear good guy or bad guy, but in the end it really only says that both the Assassins and the Templars are pretty bad guys, and for the time frame it's pretty much to be expected. Let's see what this guy has to say.
What news, Altair?
Garnier is dead.
Then you should return to Masyaf with news of your victory.
There is something else.
Speak it then, or would you have me read your mind?
What do you think he wanted from these people? That he would keep them and experiment on them as he did?
Yours is not to ask, but act, Altair. It doesn't matter what he did or why. Only that he's dead.
But Garnier seemed to believe he was helping these people.
Is that what you saw?
No. What I saw was not a place of healing, but of pain.
Then why are we having this conversation?
I don't know. Forget I spoke of it.
I already have.
Fast forwarding memory to a more recent one.
So we need to go back to Al Malahum. And it's just asking me directly, do you just want to fast forward to Mastiff? And I think the correct answer is yes. Because we're going to get leveled up, we're going to get more abilities.
Should you enter a fist fight, guards will
There's
not.
no real reason to run through the kingdom right now.
Have you news for me, Altair?
Garnier de Naplouse is dead.
Excellent. We could not have hoped for a more agreeable outcome.
And yet...
What is it?
The doctor insisted his work was noble, and looking back, those who were supposedly his captives seemed grateful to the man. Not all of them, but enough to make me wonder. How did he manage to turn enemy into friend?
Leaders will always find ways to make others obey them, and that is what makes them leaders. When words fail, they turn to coin. When that won't do, they resort to baser things, bribes, threats, and other types of trickery. There are plants, Altair, herbs from distant lands that can cause a man to take leave of his senses. So great are the pleasures it brings, men may even become enslaved by it.
You think these men were drugged then? Poisoned?
Yes, if it truly was as you describe it.
Herbs. This seems a strange method of control.
Our enemies have accused me of the same.
The promise of paradise.
They think it is a garden, overflowing with women and pleasure. That I drug you as Garnier did his men, and tempt you with its rewards.
They do not know the truth of it.
Which is how it must be.
But if they knew the truth of it, that all we seek is peace...
Then they would not fear us, and we would have no hold over them. Go. It is time you continued with your work. Another rank is restored to you, as is a piece of your equipment. We'll speak again when the next has fallen.
So we get a DNA augment. Notice that the face of the Altair looks strangely like Desmond's face. And that's kind of why you don't see it too often. It kind of looks almost exactly like Desmond. So we have throwing knives finally, that will be a big help. And so that's an interesting conversation too, because in real history the thought was that the assassins did smoke hashish or something like that and get high before they would kill people, and that was one of the claims made against him, and the whole game here just dismisses it immediately and claims the Templars are doing that, not the assassins. I would suspect if they could, both sides would prefer to get high at times. Well, he didn't walk out this time and ask us to do a practice fight. I guess that's fine. I'm trying to look up here. We still are missing a couple of master flags. And this area seems like there could be one up there, but I don't think there actually is. That's the funny thing, is that the last 3 or so are gonna
Do not merely hold your blade, become one with it. Focus on your target. Let nothing distract you.
So we can hit left trigger here.
Altair,
it
it seems my students do not fully understand what it is to wield the blade. Perhaps you could show them what you know.
And so there is a throwing knives tutorial, it just didn't bother to show it to me. Press on the D-pad and select your throwing knives and then throw them. So in close quarters combat, not really helpful.
And that, my students, is how we all should fight.
But what you will find is that they are actually extremely helpful when trying to take out
I understand.
rooftop guards and such. So for the 3rd time, maybe 4th, maybe even 5th time, we wander through the same path down to the city of Mastiff, looking around for those last few flags. Nothing has really changed here. This is where the game gets repetitive. This is definitely where you can lose yourself in the game. Running around, trying to find collectibles. No new collectibles have shown up. They were always here as soon after the first memory, at least they were always here. Let's see. Is that a flag?
Is there a reason for this nonsense?
Let's go ahead and climb up here. Actually, I have to use the ladder. Where are you flags? Yeah, I'm not seeing one. It could be that it's hidden just slightly, so that it's up high from one end and down low from the other.
There is no reason for doing that.
And still I look, even though I tell myself don't bother, it's not worth your effort. There is a clear point that you could assume you might have been drugged because you saw yourself get stabbed. And then he says, well, you slept a dream of 1,000 dreams, and then I brought you back to life, and like none of it really makes sense. Here's one. real difficult to find that. 2 more
Is there a reason
flags.
for this nonsense?
So one would assume that he probably did drug you when he stabbed you, or did he stab you at all, or were you
hurt himself.
hallucinating that part too? This game should have gone a lot deeper into the realms of what you're seeing. Is it true? You could argue that because this is in the Animus, none of what you're seeing is actually true, that it is all just made up simulation, and there is no genetic memory element to it at all. They just created a simulation and told you a bunch of garbage to make you believe it. It would be slightly more believable than genetic memory. Notice I didn't quite make it into the hay there. 2 more flags. And if you're not interested in the flags, then you would just be running through the city yet again for no reason. Why not just offer a fast forward there back to Jerusalem? Why not just have a fast travel system in general?
What is that man thinking?
Why do people have so many rugs on their roofs? Is this like how you patch a roof? You take a fine, exquisite rug and just place it over the hole? Or maybe people like to sit on the roofs? That would be a little bit more believable.
What is he doing? Such a strange man must be out of his mind.
Everybody thinks I'm out of my mind. I'm looking for flags. Where did you go, flags? Somewhere around here there are 2 more. But I really can't be that bothered to find them.
Why is he doing this?
Did I climb to the top of this one? I must have. No, I definitely did. I would guess that the 2 flags are somewhere over there. But exactly where, I have no idea. Hop down. Run this way. Take this horse while we're at it. Now I have 5 throwing knives, but they will not get refilled by default. So off we race to Jerusalem this time. I think if the last 2 flags were supposed to be out in this section, you can see them on the path. It's asking too much for them to be hidden. And they like to hide everything very high up. It's not usual for things
Use
to
the
be on the
scholars you have
ground.
rescued to pass
Pushed no buttons there, it cuts out all of those things. Now, all of the hints. Now, of course, I have an SSD, so loading screens are to be obviously going to be shorter. So my goal now is just to rush. We'll take the left to Damascus because it's a slightly faster and safer point to turn. And then we'll rush to the place where we can synchronize, and then rush to the next place where we can synchronize if we can. So one guy is taken out, the next guy needs to be taken out. After that, 3 more guys will be need to be taken out, and that'll get your number up to 6. Am I going the right way?
Please, be more careful.
Am I going the right way here? I think this way would actually point us back to this. Which, why not? Let's take that bit of information and use it to synchronize. I do want to get all the synchronizations done. But at the end of the day, if you don't get all the Templars killed, if you don't get all the flags collected, you're not going to get all the additional memories. And I think I'm probably going to end up telling people just to, after they've watched my series, go look up on YouTube someone else's efforts to collect all of those things. To see the cutscenes, because they're not really worth the effort. They're not as me as a video game reviewer, they're not worth your effort as a player to see what is effectively, I think, a really small scene. In fact, it may not even be a scene. There may be no difference. That may be the second game. I can't even remember. You may not get anything for getting all the collectibles in the first game. In either the first or second game, I can tell you there's a point where you start getting little blips of a cutscene, and you have to collect everything to get every single bit of it. And after spending hours and hours to do that, you see this cutscene that really isn't worth your time to see. I think there's a Templar over on the other side of this building, so we'll try and take him out too. And then I think we'll just end up ending the recording here. Up and we go. Up and up we go. So, one of the things that's kind of interesting about the Assassin's Creed series is you have, like, this guy there. And there's one thrown knife down. You have abilities that are introduced and then not really perfected until the game after, or the game after that. So it may be 2 or 3 games in the future where certain things are actually... Alright, so if we lock here, we can throw a knife at him. So that was all my swords. And it still didn't kill him. So I probably need like poison tip knives, and I'm not sure you get those in the first game. Other things you don't get in the first game, bombs, other things, several other gameplay mechanics. Those here, they're sitting right on top of that box. There's nothing to pick up there. There obviously was intended to be a loot system in this game that just didn't get implemented, but Assassin's Creed 2 definitely does have a loot system that works pretty well. You end up collecting a lot of items, or having to do a lot of collecting of items for not a lot of reasons. Like most loot systems in games, you can usually get very full pockets in games like that. Eventually I had millions and millions of dollars, I think, in the second game with nothing at all that you could actually do with it. And that's not terrible. It's better to end up with millions and millions than for the game to always shortchange you and always make it more difficult than it should be. Of King Richard's flags. There we go. How long have we been going? An hour and 6 minutes. I think that's good enough. So, on the memory log, we have Jerusalem to do. And to do that, we have to get to Jerusalem, which shouldn't be too difficult. We'll just need to go to this point, this point, this point, and then we will be done with memory number 3. So I imagine 2 more hours at most to do all of that. We're making good progress through the game. Maybe it's getting a little slower because I'm being a little perfectionist about just making sure I get everything done, but overall I think I'm fine. Anywho, as always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.